everybody, it's Tasha from VideoCity TV, and I'm here with Jman from the 6 Toronto in the house. How are you?
I'm good. It's a good day. It's Monday today, right? Yeah, it's Monday. So.
It's Monday? Yeah. I mean, being inside, I'm forgetting what day is what day and what time it is. But anyways, how have you been since this whole pandemic and the shutdown? How's it been?
Honestly, I've just been really going to the studio. Like every week I go to the studio. I just try to make that like a routine, you know? Mm-hmm. That's what it is for me.
I know you did a cover of one of Drake's songs and you talked about the pandemic. I thought that was really creative. Can we expect more pandemic-based music?
I have a whole album where I do have like probably like 5 tracks out of there that are talking about like quarantine, lockdown, but I haven't dropped it yet because I've just been focusing on singles.
Right. So what is your next single that you plan to drop?
Well, right now on my computer, I'm currently rendering a next single called Attachment. Mm-hmm. So it's not really related to quarantine or anything, but I think a lot of people could kind of relate to it because one of the lines in the single is, when everything is easy, why bother make it hard? So I think everybody's going through something in their life where it's like, yo, I can feel that. So,
right. Dang, I can feel that one too. I'm excited. So being from Toronto, you're the first person I've ever talked. Yeah, you're the first person I've ever talked to from Toronto. So is like the Drake effect as big as we think it is in America, in Canada? Yeah,
I think so. Like it really is. And not even just Drake. Like there's Party Next Door. There's The Weeknd. Yeah. These guys are all from my city. Nav.
Right. Do you feel like there's like a certain level of pressure on you as trying to be someone that's trying to be up next? Or do you feel like, you know, they're just regular guys, like whatever?
Well, for me, to be honest, because there's a lot of popping artists in my city, but they don't make music like I do. Like the way I look at music is like you have to try to make a timeless piece of art that appeals to the biggest audience possible. And majority of the artists in my city are not doing that. You know, like they're just appealing to small audiences.
Yeah, I did notice that your sound was very different compared to everybody else. It was more of a boom bap, but with a newer kind of twist to it. So I was like, okay, he's onto something else. So what inspired you? Well, I guess what inspired your sound and who's been some of your inspirations?
Well, what inspired my sound was I've been making music for a while, since I was like growing up, like grade 8 times. But I've picked up along the way like a lot of inspiration from different artists, various artists like Drake, Playboi Carti, anybody who has like a unique kind of trancey sound, you know? Who else is there? Drake, Playboi Carti. I can't really think of anybody else from the top of my head. Some local artists from my city as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. What did you think of Playboi Carti's most recent release?
I think I listened to a couple of the songs. It feels like, for me, like personally, because I've been a Playboi Carti fan, I feel like he could have put more work into it. I feel like he's at the level where he's not really putting work into his craft. Like he's just kind of just dropping it just for the sake of dropping it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I just started listening to Playboi Carti in like 2018. I was like late to it. So I was confused the first few times, but then I found a few songs that I liked. And then I see that a lot of people are inspired by it and starting to go a different direction with their music. So do you feel like Playboi Carti this last project has had a lot of inspiration on what you have coming up next, or?
Not really, no, to be honest. I didn't listen to everything, but there was a couple catchy songs on there, but I've like me saying like I've been a Playboi Carti fan from before all of this.
Yeah.
He could do better, you know. I personally feel like he could do better. That's how I feel.
So what are some of your goals for your career?
Well, with the whole pandemic going on, I realized to myself, like, before, like, it's always been a dream, like, oh, I want to get signed to, like, a record label or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you heard the recent news of Bob Dylan.
What happened to Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan made one of the biggest music contracts in probably our history, like, over the last, like, 100 years. He signed a deal to Universal Music Group, and he gave them a catalog of music, 500 songs, for $300 million.
Whew, that's a lot of money.
So I did my back-end research on him. He's been making music for 60 years, so like this guy really deserves that, you know?
Right.
But for myself, I realized, okay, so he sold a catalog of 500 songs. Mm-hmm. Right now, I currently have over 2,000 unreleased songs in my catalog.
That's a lot of songs.
Yeah, I make like 10, 20 songs a day, like really easily. I make a whole album in like a couple hours.
That's impressive. I don't know a lot of people that can do that. But it's good that you're thinking about your career in the long run and not just thinking about signing a deal and giving up rights, and realizing that it is a business and it's about your catalog and developing it and then eventually selling it if you want to. So I'm glad to hear someone else think the same way that I think about their artistry. Are there any last minute shout outs you'd like to give?
I just want to shout out to my city, to be honest. Like, I feel like there's a lot of talented people over here that are not realizing that. Like, you know, like Toronto's like one of the top cities in regards to music in the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're better than anybody, but that's just what it is. Like Drake, like the top artists in the world are from my city. So that's just, it puts a different energy to the way I put my approach to music, you know?
I also feel like Toronto has had a big impact on the new American sound, honestly. Like, I don't feel like Americans have fully come up with their own sound. We just take from everywhere else. Because I know Tory, he writes for like everybody in America. So I'm just like, how are people from Toronto so mesmerized by us when we're just borrowing you guys, honestly?
So I think it's like a borrowing effect of both, like going both ways, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have a drill scene out there? Is drill a thing?
Not really, but we have a couple artists that try to replicate the whole Pop Smoke thing, but it doesn't really, it just kind of just dies out after a while.
I don't know if it's gonna die out here anytime soon, but
no, I don't think so.
It's been cool. But this is your American debut, so would you like to introduce your video?
The video that I sent you, Sideways, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Sideways was a single that I worked on with my friend. It was actually a collab that I sent out to multiple artists, but nobody got back to me except the guy that you see in the video.
Oh wow, so, I really like that song. I really like the beat.
You should listen to it in the car. It's really crazy. Like,
I will definitely do that.
I tried that. I was like, wow, this is really epic. Like, I really did some epic. Because I have
really different.
Yeah, because remember I told you I have so much songs, so half of the time I don't remember what anything sounds like. I just drop it and then I just see how it performs. Like, that's the point I'm at right now, you know?
Right.
But yeah, Sideways was a placement collab that I sent with multiple artists. I really put a lot of work into it. Like, I got this whole $250,000 Mercedes G-Wagon.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
The actual story about Sideways was I tried to submit it to one of the biggest pages in my city. I don't know if you've ever heard of 6IXBUZZTV.
Yeah, I follow them. I think that's how I find a lot of people through 6IXBUZZ and Toronto rappers.
Yeah, like that's the biggest page in my city. They're like literally like the next worldstar. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they actually declined my project. So that was the whole fuel behind Sideways getting to where it's at right now. Like, they basically told me like my project is like, you know, like in simple terms, shitty. Like the video was crap, the recording was crap. You know what I'm saying? Why did you shoot it in the garage? And you know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, whatever, it's business, you know? Like, not everybody's gonna like what you do. But that was the whole fuel behind that project for me to really push it. Like, okay, you guys don't want to give me a placement, because they were supposed to put it on their YouTube channel and they declined it. So I was like, okay, I'll just make it perform on my own channel then, you know?
And now look at you here, debuting in New York. Congratulations.
When it's all good, shit can still go sideways.
J-Man, that was a great video. Are there any last minute words you'd like to leave for our viewers?
Yeah, I would like to say for everybody to honestly, like in this time period that we're going through in the world, this crisis, really hone in on your personal gifts and the things that you hold dear to yourself, and really work on that.
Wow.
Those are my last words.
And that's VideoCity TV.